Former President Donald Trump has made numerous campaign promises as he eyes a return to the White House, including a pledge to appoint a special prosecutor to investigate President Joe Biden and his family. Following the Super Tuesday, March 5th election results, Trump appears to have secured the Republican nomination for the upcoming presidential election in November. CNN assesses that Trump's chances of returning to power are relatively significant due to the low approval ratings for President Joe Biden. To attract voters, Trump has made several promises during his campaign, such as building 10 new cities, appointing a special prosecutor to investigate President Joe Biden and his family, as well as launching the largest domestic deportation campaign in American history. Foreign policy. Trump has continued to criticize NATO member countries. At a campaign event in South Carolina last month, Trump said he would not adhere to the bloc's collective defense provision and would encourage Russia to do whatever they want to members who fail to meet defense spending obligations. The former president also pledged to quickly end the conflict in Ukraine, although he did not specify how. Immigration. Trump has made immigration and border security a focal point of his campaign, successfully pressuring the Republican Party to reject a major border agreement last month. In an op-ed in the Des Moines Register in January, Trump announced plans to use the Enemy Alien Act to deport individuals verified or suspected to be gang members, drug traffickers, or drug gang members from the U.S. In a video posted on Truth Social in late February, ahead of a recent border visit, Trump also promised to carry out the largest domestic deportation campaign in American history. Combating drug gangs. The former president also views combating drug gangs as a top priority in his second term. In a campaign announcement in November 2022, Trump said he would propose legislation to ensure that drug trafficking and human trafficking criminals could receive the death penalty for heinous acts. Trump also promised to wipe out drug gangs by blockading them at sea, cutting off their access to global financial systems, and using special forces to hunt down gang leaders. Education. In a campaign video in September 2023, Trump announced plans to close the U.S. Department of Education to return education control to the states. We want them to be responsible for educating our children because they will do a much better job, he said. The former president also promised to return responsibility to parents and give them the final say in education. In a campaign video in January 2023, the former president said he would prioritize funding schools that allow parents to elect principals, abolish the tenure system for K-12 teachers, use an effective job-based salary mechanism to promote teaching quality, and reduce the number of managerial positions in schools. Healthcare. Last November, Trump promised to replace the Affordable Care Act, often called Obamacare, in a series of posts on Truth Social. Trump tried to do this in 2017, but failed. Getting much better health care services than Obamacare for the American people will be a top priority for the Trump administration, he said. Gender transition. I will repeal all of Biden's policies promoting chemical castration and genital mutilation for our youth, and I will ask Congress to send me a bill to ban genital mutilation surgery for children in all 50 states, Trump said in March last year. Genital mutilation is the term Trump uses to refer to gender-affirming procedures that help a person change their outward appearance or sexual characteristics to match their gender identity, including hormone therapy and gender reassignment surgery. Trump also said he would issue directives to federal officials to cut back on gender transition promotion programs and ask Congress to stop using federal funds to pay for gender. Trump promised to use the U.S. Department of Justice to investigate critics and former allies. I will appoint a truly special prosecutor to investigate Joe Biden and the entire Biden crime family, Trump said in June 2023. Trump said in a campaign video last year that he would reinstate executive orders from 2020 to remove bad actors and propose amending the Constitution to adjust term limits for members of Congress. In a speech in September 2023 in Washington, D.C., Trump also announced he would appoint a team of experts to review the criminal convictions of those he believes were unfairly treated by the Biden administration. This move could lead to potential pardons for many convicted in connection with the January 6, 2021 riots. New cities and flying cars. In many campaign videos, Trump said he would build free cities to reopen the borders, awaken the imagination of Americans, and provide hundreds of thousands of young people and others, all hardworking families, a new opportunity to become homeowners and indeed the American dream. Under Trump's plan, the federal government will facilitate the construction of 10 new cities on federal land that has not been developed. He said these cities would help revive American manufacturing, provide economic opportunities, new industries, and affordable living. Electric cars. Trump has promised to repeal new EPA emissions standards for cars. If effective, these regulations could require 2/3 of cars sold in the U.S. by 2032 to be electric. The former president once said that Biden's electric vehicle policies had marked the death of the American auto industry. Energy. Trump promised to reduce energy prices by increasing domestic production. We will drill and drill immediately, Trump told supporters in Des Moines, Iowa, in January. At a rally in South Carolina in February, he pledged to lift restrictions on U.S. natural gas exports. Trade. Also at the South Carolina rally, Trump pledged to impose harsh punitive measures against China and other countries that abuse trade. Under Trump's Trade Reciprocity Act, the former president said that if other countries impose tariffs on the U.S., the country will immediately respond with similar tariffs. As part of his strategy to bring jobs back to America, Trump also promised to continue the policy of America First if elected, such as establishing a general baseline tax for most foreign goods. His proposals also include plans to extend a 4-year phase-out of all essential imports from China, as well as block China's investment in the U.S. and stop U.S. company investments in China. Trump said in February that he would consider imposing tariffs of up to 60% on all imports from China if re-elected.